Gentlemen, Melik, let me start with you. A week after the election, Trump facing his first challenge, of course, with Hegseth and Matt Gaetz. Republicans are facing intense pressure from the president-elect. How do you see this playing out?
Yeah, so Pete Hegseth, I imagine that Republicans will ultimately vote to confirm him. He's not my first choice. I think that there are better qualified people to be defense secretary, but this is part of the hyperventilating when, as what Barack Obama said, elections have consequences. And I think that that's what we're seeing now. And on the Matt Gaetz, for me, because Matt Gaetz joined 208 Democrats to oust a GOP Speaker of the House, for me, Matt Gaetz just shouldn't be any position. I think that that just disqualifies him alone. I've never been a fan of Matt Gaetz, but it looks as if, at least according to what many senators are saying, that Matt Gaetz may not even get that Senate confirmation. You only need, I believe, 3 or 4 in order for his confirmation, or at least that to be derailed. So
Right.
It's looking like that he may be, of the entire group of Trump cabinets, Matt Gaetz may be in the worst trouble because he didn't make any friends while he was in Congress. So that's the problem that he had.
Yeah, he certainly seems polarizing for both parties. David, Republicans want to see the ethics report on Matt Gaetz. You heard me and Michael talking. House Speaker Mike Johnson says releasing the ethics report would be, quote, a terrible breach of protocol. You served as a New York State senator. I want to hear your thoughts when it comes to this protocol.
Yeah, I really don't understand the logic here. I mean, our U.S. senators have a duty to the American public, and that's to have this confirmation hearing. I mean, we're talking about Matt Gaetz being this controversial character, and the hearings haven't even started yet. So I don't know how you can ask these U.S. senators to do their job when you know there's this report out there, there's information out there, and you're going to keep that from them. It's not fair to the U.S. Senate. It's not fair to the American public. So I think that really casts a shadow on this. If Donald Trump feels confident about his pick, then he should go to these confirmation hearings with all that information and don't put blinders on our U.S. senators. So this idea of Donald Trump having a mandate, look, we all want to be gracious and support the U.S. president. But the Congress, the Senate particularly, has a job to do. And that's defined in our Constitution. And our founding fathers said, look, you have a responsibility. You don't go out of your way to stop a confirmation from going through, but you do your due diligence. You do your homework. Mm-hmm. And you say, is this person up to the task of what the president is asking them to do to protect the Constitution and, most importantly, protect the people of the United States? So
Sure.
It's really puzzling to me, this maneuver that's going on right now. And I think it's going to fail. I think the U.S. Senate deserves that information. And I think ultimately they're going to get it.
Yeah, I think it's just piquing our interest even more to see what's in that
Right.
report. Melik, late Friday, Trump named Caroline Levitt, she's been here on the show, as press secretary after serving in the same role for his national campaign. She's known to be a trusted surrogate for the president. I was wondering, coming from your opinion, was this appointment a surprise?
Well, I'll just say on the report, the senators are going to get that report. The House, Mike Johnson can say whatever he wants to say. I would be surprised if the Senate doesn't get that report. And it's also important to point out that the DOJ failed to prosecute Matt Gaetz for any type of crime. So this is around an ethics violation, not a potential crime.
Well, and not to mention the leaks that are already coming out as well.
Mm-hmm. Yes. And in the case of Carolyn, I think she's fine. It is a very difficult job. Of course, I've never been the White House press secretary, but even in communications, the thing that I do, it is a very difficult thing to be a press secretary. So I think that this is a good pick. I don't think that there is, there were some people like Hena Doba, whatever the attorney, I wouldn't have preferred her for the pick, but Carolyn, I think that she's a great messenger. But at the end of the day, when you're talking about a White House press secretary, you don't just need a great messenger. You also need someone who's steeped in policy, because you have to wade through all of those things on a daily basis. But I'm fine with this pick for press secretary.
And answer those tough questions on a daily basis from the media. Thanks for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.